Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'll be showing you guys how to cut shorts for men. There are a few things that I want us to take note of. The first thing is we need to add some certain allowances or inches to some parts of the measurement so that the short is not too tight and looks like leggings on the man. First, on the hip we'll add 2 inches to the hip measurement. So if your hip measurement is 40, you add 2 inches to make it 42. Then we'll add 1 inch to the thigh measurement and 3 inches to the knee measurement. Now, a short is supposed to be on the knee for a man or slightly below the knee or above the knee. But wherever that short is, which is supposed to be on the knee, you measure it round and then you will add 3 inches to that measurement. The length that I'll be using is 20 inches. So the first thing we'll do is we'll mark out our 20 inches for the length plus 2 inches as hemming allowance. So this is 20 and this is 22. I'm going to mark it here again and then we will draw a line all across, and this will give us the length of our trouser. Okay, we're going to be cutting the front of this short first. The next thing we'll do is from the top of our paper we'll be marking our crotch measurement. Remember I said to our hip measurement we'll be adding 2 inches. For my hip I have 42 as my hip. I'm going to add 2 to that 42, which will give me 44, right? And I'll divide it by 4, it will give me 11. So my crotch measurement right here is 11 inches, and that's what I will mark down. So whatever your hip measurement is, add 2 inches to it, divide it by 4, and then you mark it here as your crotch measurement for your shorts for men. Now I have a border here. This is my waistline, this is my hip line, this is the length of my short, and this is my hemming allowance. Now on this hip measurement, I'm going to impute my hip plus 2 divided by 4 measurement that I have and mark it here. So I have my hip as 42 plus 2, 44, divided by 4 will give me 11. I'll mark it here as 11. And then now I'm going to mark 2 inches for our crotch extension. I'm going to add 2 inches here. Now on this waistline, I'm going to mark my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1. Give me 9.25. But I'm going to be using 9.5. I'll be adding the 0.25 as is. Then I'll add 1 inch allowance, right? So now I have my waist divided by 4 plus 0.25 for ease. You can add half inch for your ease and then 1 inch allowance. I'm going to join this 1 inch here to this hip measurement, not to the 2 inches crotch extension, but to this hip measurement. And when I join it, it's going to look slanted a bit, not straight. That is okay. On this waist area, I'm going to slant it by half an inch. So I'll mark half an inch here and slant it. And I'll be slanting it all the way to this point on my waist. All right, so we have slanted our waist. The next thing we're going to do now is on this line that we have drawn, we are going to call it our crotch line. We are going to go up by 2 inches. 2 inches mark is supposed to be our original hip measurement. That is from the waist to the hip, which if I measure my client is going to be 9, and from here to here is going to be 9 inches. But from this place here, I'll go up by 2 inches and mark. Then now to get my curve here, so I don't make any mistake, I'll control this place by 0.5 inch on this point here. So I'll mark out my 0.5 here. And then I'm going to curve here with free hand, or if you want, you can also use your curve ruler. This on my fabric directly, so you will know how to do it on your fabric too. And this short is for men. Remember, we are having our fabric on fold, right? Okay, so now we have joined this to it. Now on our length measurements here, which we are going to call our knee line, right? I'm going to be adding 3 inches to my round knee circumference, like I said from in the beginning of this video. Now my knee measurement was 19. I'll add 3 to it, is going to be 22. 22 divided by 2 will be 11. I know you'll be wondering why we didn't use the thigh. The knee measurement will cover up for the thigh measurement. Okay, now I'm going to mark my 11 inches on the top line. On my direct length, which is 20 inches, I'll be marking it right here. Okay, now you can join using a straight ruler this way, but if you have your hip curve, please also use it. From this point, I'm going to extend it this way so that when I fold it, I am not short on the edge here. So I'm not going to mark my 11 inches on the hem, but I'll just extend it this way so that when I fold, I'm not short on the hem. And then this is the front part of our short, and we are almost ready. Come to the pocket area. On this our waistline, we are going to mark 2.5 inches for our pocket width, right? And then on the length here, we are going to mark 8 inches for the depth of our pocket on our short. You can use 7.5, but 8 inches will make it be very free and easy for the hand to go in and out. And then I am going to draw this line, and I'm marking ½ inch on this point because that's where I'm going to notch to, and then ½ inch down here because I'll be notching ½ inch too. And this is what our short looks like. We'll go out now and cut all of this, and then we'll be ready. But before we cut, let us quickly do our flap for the zip over here. How do we do it? We come out here by 2 inches on this part, 2 inches or 2.5. I'll use 2.5. I'll come down all the way 2.5, and then when I get to where this curve is, I'll make it 2 inches, right? So now this 2 inches mark, I'll connect it all the way to the top. It might not be straight, but don't worry about it. So this is it. And your flap, depending on how long, remember, you know our zip is always 7 inches, 7.5. So I'm going to measure what my flap length is here, and I have 11, and that is okay. I can make it to be 10 inches, and then this is what our flap looks like. When I'm cutting now, I'll cut all of this for my short this way, and then I'll cut this out separately for my flap. Let's cut it out. So after cutting out the front, this is what it looks like, and this is the flap. I have 2 of it. Now I'll be cutting out my back. I have placed my front on my fabric to make sure that I have about 2 inches or 2.5 inches at the top on this side. I'm going to pin it down so that my fabric doesn't move. Go out and mark out my knee line to be the same part on the back, and also my crotch. I'm just extending the lines this way, right, for my crotch line and my knee line. Now on this part here of our back pattern, we want to mark 2 inches on the waist at the top part, 2 inches, right? So we mark out the 2 inches like so. Now we'll connect this 2 inches point all the way to our waistline on this side. On the waist, you go up by 2 inches and connect it to this point here. So I'll do that now. Then I have drawn that out. Now on my crotch line, I will extend it by 2 inches. Okay. Then on my knee line, I'll also extend it by 2 inches. Now we'll come back to our waist point here. On our waist point at the top, we went up by 2 inches, but on our waist point here towards the side, we'll be going in by 1.5 inches for the back, 1.5 inches here. And then on our hip, on the crotch area here, we'll measure 2 inches. On this crotch area here, we'll mark 2 inches. And then we'll connect this 1.5 to 2 inches, and then to this our crotch line, the 2 inches extension. You connect it to the 2 inches extension on the waist, right? So we go like this, the back will look like, and we are done. All we have to do is cut following this line to the length, and then also on this side. I'm done cutting out my front and my back, and let me show you guys what it looks like. This is my front and this is the back. To slant our pockets out of this front, the other components that we have to cut, we have already also cut out our fly, which is 2. In this to tell me that this is the back, the back, the back, and also the back. So now I'll show you guys how to cut out the pockets, the pocket and the pocketing, and then the band. For our pockets, we are going to be cutting out 2 fabrics, which will be 6.5 by 14 inches in length, right? Have enough fabric. You can cut one out as the pocket, and then the other one as the pocketing. The waist, you just cut out 2 strips of fabric, which will be 4.5 inches wide, and then the length will be the waist circumference plus 5 inches. That is what your band for the trouser should be. So I'm cutting out 2 of these band because I need it for both the front and the back. So this is what it looks like, front and back. And then this is the pockets, this is the flap for the zip, and then this is the band. The next thing we'll do now is taking this to our sewing machine, and in our next video I'll show you guys how to join this together to give us our beautiful short, and even how to sew the trouser flap. It is very easy. If you enjoyed this video, guys, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're not subscribed to me already. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.